Okay, finally it went live. Sorry I'm late. I'm a little flushed. I was outside trying to fix my lawnmower. Oh, I have to take the socks off. I'm hot. I'm hot. I'm gonna turn my fan on. I'm hot. I'm hot. Okay. That is what I need now. It's like, I don't know how many degrees outside today right now. But what's the temp? It feels hot because I've just been moving around doing stuff. Right now it is 77, almost 80. So yeah, it's gonna get up to like 85 today, supposedly, like by 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock's the highest time of the day. And as the peak. Excuse me. Whew. All right. Now I might like fall pink and flushed. Okay. Alrighty. So I went ahead and signed up for that market in Mesquite. I got approved, so I'm going to go ahead and do that this weekend, and that will be actually on my birthday. And I'm excited to do that, but it's there's rain in the forecast, but every time I look at it, it's different. In the last couple of days, it's been a little bit different. So yesterday when I looked at the forecast, it was going to be like rain in the middle of the day. But now it's going to be rain in the morning, like right when I'm setting up, and then from 8 o'clock until about like 5 o'clock, it's supposed to be no rain. So fingers crossed, that's how it's going to be. Fingers crossed. That's like, the weather's not going to keep the patrons away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So right now I am making the baby turtles. And I know y'all don't hear it very often, but that is my roommate, and he has pulmonary fibrosis. He is coughing all the time, and bless his heart, he tries really hard to keep it under control, but it's very difficult for him. So you're probably going to hear him from time to time. His sleep schedule is off. Usually the reason why I schedule my lives for 1 o'clock is because I kind of tailor him to his sleep schedule. So like I'll be quiet while while he's taking a nap. So apparently his schedule's off. He's starting to stay up a little bit later again. So this is hard. So anyway, baby turtle time. And these turtles are one of my best sellers. Is it baby turtle? And it's from it's an Instagram pattern by LMS Arts. I want to say that. So let me see if I can find it and then share it with you guys. Okay, so Instagram, and I sell these for about like $7, and so they're not too bad in price. And even if I did it with the blanket yarn or right now I'm using the Posh, the last of my Posh, which I'm just going to try to use it up as best I can. I love working with Posh. I love the colors of the Posh, but it's probably not going to be available anymore. So if anybody knows where I can get more Posh other than paying an exorbitant price on eBay or other places where they're going to be selling discontinued yarn, let me know. I don't know if anyone's like supplied the need. Now I did see online that there actually is a Big Twist website, but Posh is not on there. It's all the other Big Twist stuff. Like, no, I say all the other. I'm pretty sure there's more, but it did not feature Big Twist Posh or Big Twist Plush that I had seen. And I don't know if they've updated it since I've looked at it. Of course, that was about like a couple of weeks ago. So that's just, you know, an opinion. Okay, I need to go to my liked videos, saved stuff. Where's my saved? Saved. And then I will pull up this pattern that I'm talking about. Where do I find that stuff? Okay, search, explore, reels. Okay, there's my saved. I'm having horrible like brain fog lately. Just horrible. I'm really having a time with it. Okay. And it's on down here. Like I gotta scroll all the way down and it's gonna take time to load. So it's gonna be just a couple of minutes while I do this. Well, I will just chat your little head off. I need to make those little axolotls. There's some tiny little axolotls. And they're like little balls with feet and gills and everything basically, and a little tail. And they fit inside of my crane machine just right. And when I had made a few and put them inside my crane machine, claw machine, everybody loved it. So I thought, yeah, that was great. So, oh man, itchy. Give me a sec. Itchy. And let's see. I kind of want to make that Perry the platypus. He's cute. But I'm not going to do that right now because I don't have the right yarn for it. Let's see here. That little bear is cute. I need to make that bear. I need to go through here and just make all my Instagram patterns that I've saved. That would be some content videos, like all the Instagram patterns that I have saved, and just try them all out and see how they work out. But yeah, I've got a lot of patterns on here that I've saved. Okay, let's see. It's on down here. It's like close to the bottom. You know. Let me go this way. Here we go. And recipes, man. I've saved a lot of recipes on here too. Like half of it's patterns, crochet patterns, half of it's like recipes. Because I just love me some recipes. I'm like, yes, I want to eat that. That looks so good. Oh, that's cute. Little chubby owl. That's cute. Yeah, so basically Instagram for me is all about recipes and crochet. I mean, it's like 50-50. And restaurants. Like some of them are like little restaurants that I want to go visit in the DFW. More the D than the FW. Because it's hard to get to the FW. Okay. Very seldom go to Fort Worth. It's like takes like an hour to get there, and it's like on the other side of this. You know, it's on the other side of Dallas for me. So, yeah, if I were to go to Six Flags, which is right in Arlington, which is kind of like a mid city in between Dallas and Fort Worth, that is at least an hour for me. You know, if I were to drive it. So. I'm a little bit itchy from being outside. Being all sweaty and stiff. Sorry, my roommate's having an issue. Okay. Come on. Load, baby, load. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Okay. But this little pattern is really cute. There it is. I found it. Ha 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 ha. No sew baby turtle. That's what it is. Okay, so let me save this. Okay. How do I copy this? Hold on. Copy link. Here we go. Paste. Here we go. There she blows. That is the baby turtle pattern I found on Instagram. This is what I'm making now. This is one of my best sellers. So it's super cute. Hi, Rebecca. What's going on, chick? Okay. There you go. I found it. And let me show you what they look like. I'm sorry, I'm just like so itchy. Yeah, I think the bugs are starting to chew on me now. But this is what they look like. Okay. And they're just tiny. And I ordered some jump rings that will attach perfectly to the tops of these. And they're the kind that are kind of like, they look like miniature keychain rings. So they're kind of like, it's like a double layer jump ring. So all I got to do is just slide that around like maybe the magic circle of this guy, and I can turn him into a keychain. So I'm going to offer these as an item that can, like, I'm going to have like a basket of them, and then I'm going to say like, hey, if you want to make it to a keychain, that's $1 more, and then that way it'll be really easy and fast to turn him into a keychain. It should take me like no more than a minute and a half, just to turn him into a keychain. So super cute. I really like this pattern. It goes really fast. I think I make these in about 21 minutes. Maybe a little quicker, just depends. Scrubbies on a round loom. Oh, cool. Scrubbies, huh? What kind of scrubbies? I was thinking about those today too, because so I have like this little piece of cotton that I had crocheted up, and it was going to be the halo or the I guess you could say it's a halo, but it's supposed to be like the aura for this for Santa Maria, Mary, Jesus's mother. It's a doll that I had made, and it didn't take, very well, or I think I'd lost it, and I was getting ready to sew it on, and I lost it, so I had to make another one. I couldn't find it. I think it was like wrapped up in my bed, bed covers and things like that. So, so I had it it's like lingering around in my stuff. It's even like gotten stuck in my laundry, and I've washed it a few times, but it's that I love this cotton. And so I'm thinking like, okay, well, I should experiment with this and try to use this as a face scrubby, or use it as a reusable like a cotton pad, and see how it works for myself before I go and say, hey, because I in my head, like, it's a really nice soft cotton. So in my head, I think it's going to be continues to be a really good cotton that's going to help take off makeup or help apply toner or anything like that. So reusable cotton pads to help, with your makeup or, your beauty routine or anything like that. And I've seen where people have done that, and they sell them like in a jar. You get so many in a jar or whatever. And so I'm thinking about, experimenting with that and see how that goes. And by the first weekend of May, which is the next market after this weekend, I think. I don't know. I haven't decided if I want to do the 26th, which is the next following weekend after this weekend, to do a market at that farmer's market. So we'll see. I'm just trying this one out to see how well it does, to see what kind of crowd is there, and etc. So Yeah. So I'm thinking about doing that, and then maybe have some of those. If they work out, if this cotton round works out really well, then I will make some more because they should be really easy to make, and and probably pump some out in a few minutes. Sorry, I'm itchy. Um, and those would be a great thing to like have ready for Mother's Day, or have something that's a sustainable item, as well as, like a bath scrubby. So I have this bath scrubby that I found it on Pinterest, but I added more to it. So on Pinterest, it's just a round puff, like a round puff stitch bath scrubby, and then it's got like a handle on the back of it. It's like round. But then I added some of that. It's like scrubby yarn, but it's like the scrubby cotton. So I got it actually from Premier, and it's called Premier's Washi. And I've got like a bunch of it, and I need to start using it up because it's going to get too old. And it's like sitting in a tote in my closet, in my bedroom, I need to start using that stuff up. And that's generally what I was going to use it for, to make these bath scrubbies with. And it works out great. I've had mine for like 5 years, my bath scrubby, and I love it. It's made with the just white sugar and cream. Was it peaches and cream or sugar and cream cotton cone? And which is durable, and it holds up. And I just put that scrubby cotton, that washi on the outside of it, and I use that every time I take a shower, and I absolutely love it. And if I need to wash it, I'm just throw it in the washing machine because it's washable, and it's like, it's great. It's a good thing that I like totally really love to use personally myself. So sometimes when I have products that are like that, I want to try it for myself to see if it's a sellable item, like I'll do a test on myself. So I just keep, making plushies instead. Look at this hair sticking out, Rose, right here. My hair is sticking out. Take it down. So, anywhoozle. All right. Let me get back to making this little turtle. It's not going to make itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, I have too many stitches. So that's an increase. And because I've done this so many times, I don't feel like I need to use a stitch marker on it. So. And although when I am working on this and talking to people, I should use a stitch marker. Just in case. So I don't goof up. Because I've had some goof ups today. I've had a lot of goof up today. I was trying to fix my lawnmower, and I almost had it turned on, and then I realized what I did. And now I have to buy a new part again for it. And I'm shaking my head in defeat, but it's a learning experience because I don't know how motors work. It's just something that was just not really in my wheelhouse. But I learned how to work on a motor, and a lawnmower is a simple motor. It's really not complicated. But I learned something today. And you know what? I did not walk away with defeat completely because, like I said, now I know what to do. I know how to do certain things. I just educated myself. And now because I made a mistake, now I know exactly what to do. And I'll definitely learn from my mistake. And I do not want to repeat that again. If you know this, but I go live Monday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, and I make things while I'm live. Cool. Yeah. No, I didn't know that. I don't get on YouTube all that much. I do on occasion, but not that much like I used to. So, I'll keep that in mind. I'll try to remember. Oops, sorry. So this is just, and I think this is my content right now. And I'm wanting to do more content. So I was thinking about doing some, shooting over there at Joann's last time I went shopping a few days ago, to a yarn shop and etc. And, I don't know. I feel so weird filming in public like that. I know that Hobby Lobby does not like it when you film inside their store. They just don't like it. There's a sign on the door and they ask you not to do it. And I try to respect that, and I'm just so afraid that I'm just going to, film somebody who doesn't want to be filmed and everything. So I just kind of, yeah. I just really kind of funny about that. I've done it before in the past, but it's like I really just don't want to kind of, do that. So, but I'm working on trying to do more content. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting hungry. Make some lunch after this. Have some yogurt. I have been crazy for some Greek yogurt, and then I get plain Greek yogurt, and then I will put either real maple syrup, a little bit of cinnamon, a dash of salt, maybe a splash of vanilla on that, and it makes the best flavored yogurt. It is so good. That, or I do that with honey. I do honey and cinnamon together, and maybe a dash of salt, because that salt helps the flavor of this. It helps with the sweetness, helps balance out the sweetness, and it's so good. And because whenever I look at all the ingredients on packages of food, and then they'll say sodium benzenate, and I'm like, benzene's bad for you. A lot of people don't realize it's like a food preservative, and it's edible, but it's not good for you. And and they add like gargum, and and then like gargum's okay, but in small amounts. But like you don't know how much they're putting in there, and with me just adding my own flavor to it, and I'm very satisfied with just the way that it tastes. It's a wonderful treat, and I really thoroughly enjoy it. I do love me some maple syrup though. Like once you start eating real maple syrup, man, that's some good stuff. And I use it in everything. Like I even use it in my coleslaw dressing. So my coleslaw dressing is super simple. It's 1 part mayonnaise, 1 part apple cider vinegar, so 1 part mayonnaise, that's like 1, and then 2. Okay, no, yeah, and I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. 2 parts mayonnaise, 1 part maple syrup, 1 part apple cider vinegar. That's what it is. Okay, trying to figure out how to say this. 2 parts mayonnaise, 1 part apple cider vinegar and maple syrup, and that combination together it just works. Of course, you add salt and pepper to your taste, and I like to add celery seed, and it's really good. It just is good. It's like once I make this for coleslaw, I didn't like coleslaw before I started making it this way. And I'm watering, my mouth is watering, think about it. And as soon as I make it, like as soon as the cabbage is all shredded up and the carrots are all shredded up, and I poured this on there, it's like I can't stop eating it. It's just so good, See, I'm getting hungry. I'm talking about food. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. Okay, now I need a front loop only. Oh, coleslaw. And it's that time of year we're starting to eat more salads, so not too shabby. And I found this other, like this cold cabbage sesame salad. And I'm like, oh, yes. Cold noodles. Yeah. It's like an Asian recipe. I'm like, oh, man, that looks so good. And then I'm going to try to make my own hoisin sauce. And I was kind of looking up like all the different recipes for hoisin sauce, and they all like kind of require molasses. And I was like, you know what? I'll buy some molasses. And I went to this one restaurant here in town. I don't know if it's in other locations in the country, but I know it's here in town. It's a small chain. It's not that big of a chain, not to my knowledge. It's called Babe's Chicken Dinner. Delicious. And so they'll bring out like a plate of biscuits out for you for the table. And then there's like, a little pitcher of honey, and then they also have another pitcher of something else, and we deducted it was molasses. And I was like, that's actually really good. And molasses is actually pretty good for you. There's a lot of minerals in molasses. A lot of people don't realize it, but molasses is pretty good. And then I also like molasses cookies, so I was like, this give me a reason to make molasses cookies. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay. So yeah, so I'm always trying to make something yummy. Keep it simple. But yeah, I usually typically spend about 3 hours in the kitchen just making dinner and cleaning it up after it. And that's daily, regardless. And sometimes I can get a little daunting. I need to wind this up. I need to cake that one up. And yeah, I can get a little daunting, but it's like, that's my other second love is cooking. I really do love to cook. I used to love to do cake decorating and stuff. Then I realized that I can't eat wheat as well because it just causes issues. And like I'm trying to be gluten free as much as possible, and it's not easy. Gluten makes me have inflammation, makes me hurt. But also, I'm trying to be healthier in general. But like, going through this menopause, and I know that my hormones are out of whack. I can't lose weight. No matter what I try to do, no matter how hard I do it, it's like I can't seem to lose weight. Oh, did I just do that wrong? I did. I've been staying at the same weight, no matter what I do, no matter what I eat, no matter if I exercise or anything like that, I can't seem to get the weight off. And that's an indication that you have really high cortisol. Your hormones are imbalanced. So cortisol, people don't realize it's a hormone. So if that is out of whack, and I don't know how to get out of it without, and like I see all these little programs and these things, and it's like, but like we want your money, and I'm just like, I don't want to give you my money. We want your money to help you get healthier, and I'm like, I don't want to give you my money. I'm poor. I'm trying to keep from having to pay like $13,000 in, hospital bills, and I'm trying to stay out of the hospital. and not spend money in the hospital. I mean, that's my goal, is just to be healthy. And I know I need to lose some of the weight. And I don't think that doing that GLP-1 Ozempic stuff it works good. My mom was on it for a little while, and kind of messed up her guts a little bit. Like, she had horrible gas after that. And I'm like, my concern, because what it is, it's like an appetite suppressant, more or less. I mean, yeah, it will help your lower your A1C, but the thing is that it's an appetite suppressant. You just don't want to eat, and you have to remind yourself to eat. And that's the problem with it. And I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that's normal. Basically you're just starving yourself. You're just kind of taking away the hunger pains, and that's not healthy. And like I said, she had gastrointestinal issues afterwards. And that is one of the symptoms of it, is gastrointestinal issues. And I'm like, I don't know about that stuff. And it's all over TV. Like, everybody, like, all the infomercials, all the commercials, like, oh, GLP-1, blah, blah, blah. It's good, help you lose weight. And I'm like, really? Is it really all that great? I just really kind of get concerned about that stuff. And then we're going to turn around like 10 years down the road. Oh, class action lawsuit over this drug. And you're just like, yep. And that's the flavor of the month. There will be another thing. That'll be another flavor of the month. Everybody's always trying to look for like a quick get slim, kind of situation. I'm going to go and take a nap. I'm not feeling real well right now. Okay, holler at you later. I'll see you later. Thanks for stopping in. Bye, Rebecca. So, yeah, see why I kind of wait for him to go to bed to take a nap? And he can't help it. It's like he's trying to breathe and he can't help it. He's having a hard time. And then it's like, this is what I have to live with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. And like, it's really, really hard to hear it sometimes. It really is. It's hard to hear it all the time. I'm very sympathetic for that. And he won't go to the doctor. He won't. He doesn't like doctors. He doesn't trust them. It's a hard thing to deal with. Okay. So yeah, all excited about going to this market on Saturday. I hope it's going to be a good day. And then my boyfriend says he's going to make me a cake and bring it over because I told him that I'm just going to stay home for my birthday. I'm not going to go out because it's not just my birthday, but it's my roommate's birthday as well. So I'm just going to share it. We're going to share our birthday. And try to make him feel special. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Yes. Okay. Oop. All right. So sometimes I do a little bit of thing where while I'm making this, I will like have it inside out. Because whenever I make the baubles for the legs, they always kind of like go to the inside. But what I do is for the shell, I just tie the little pieces of the shell on the inside. And that kind of secures it a little bit. And then this is the end tail, and that's the beginning tail. End tail for the head, and the beginning tail for the body. So I'm tying those together to give that a nice little secure thing going on there. And then we're going to pop out the legs. Okay. Hold on. Here we are. Pop out. Get a little fiddly there. Okay. So now we have all the legs popped out. Voila. Okay. So I had some of this other fiber fill, and I forgot how much I don't like it. Other than using polyfill. Because like whenever I try to weave in my ends or try to sew, pass the yarn through the body of my Miami's, it doesn't go through as seamlessly. And like that's why I like polyfill so much more than all the other fiber fills. It just works better. And it's like, and the stuffing on this is so minimal. It's like maybe 2 grams. It almost weighs nothing. Usually I do weigh it, but I'm not going to weigh it this time because my scale is over there or somewhere else. So, all right, we're cinching in the hole. We're doing the final round here. So I'm doing my decreases. Then I will cinch in my hole, and then I make sure I have a long enough tail to help me tack the head up a little bit. I just think it looks better if I do it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we need to do one more decrease. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make that another decrease. So I have too many stitches. Okay, this should be enough. Okay. All right. So, and then another trick that I use for myself, and I don't know if anybody else does this, but I use my hand to measure, like my 2 fingers is roughly an inch. So my finger is about half an inch wide. I really haven't measured like the width of my hand, but I use the width of my hand to measure a lot, just general measuring for whenever I make something. So for the tail of this, the tail that I'm going to use to cinch in the hole and tack in the head for this little turtle is usually about 3 hand widths apart. So that's one. Oops, the other side. Let's go this way. Okay, so that's 1, 2, and 3. So that's about 3 hand widths long. Maybe just a smidge more. Where did my scissors go? I just had them. There they are. So, and then you see where I tack the head up because he's all floppy and stuff, like hanging down there. So I tack the head up like that, and that's where passing the yarn through the body helps out so much. So that's why I like using polyfill. It's just better. Okay, where's my darning needle? Here it is. So I started this right before I went outside to go do the lawnmower. Okay. So cinching the hole. And then, okay, so I have a problem with my turtles not really sitting flush without the head, like making them go down. So I'm going to, right here is where it's cinched in the hole, right here. I'm going to try to make sure, pass the yarn closer to the tail and then back through the, I guess you could say it's like the belly button of the turtle. And then go right back in here so I can make this part kind of go in a little bit. Let me find another turtle, show you what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, this is the last one I just did. So I did the pink. So if you can see, it's kind of sunken in a little bit. It's like, so you can get a better light. But anyway, it's kind of pushed in a little bit. And what this is doing is kind of helping give where he can sit flat, and it kind of gives them a little bit of balance for whenever they do sit up on their bottoms, that the head is not making it go like that, because this one I did not do that to, and he just kind of leans forward. Of course, he's on my hand, and my hand is kind of curved, but usually he'll kind of like lean forward a little bit. Yeah, he's kind of leaning forward right there a little bit. You can't tell. Anyway, all right, bad example. But that's, trying to figure. Sometimes you just got to figure things out, It's like, okay, I don't like how he's leaning. How do I fix this? So, yeah, so I'm kind of just bringing that in, not pulling too hard. I don't want to deform him, but, just make sure that he'll sit evenly. So therefore, he kind of has a little bit of a pooch right there, but it's not too bad. It'll be all right because that will help him sit better. Okay, so now because his head's a little wiggly, I'm gonna pass my needle right through here, top of his shell, the rim of his shell, and to the back of his neck. Hold on. I gotta rethread that. Okay. And then to the base of his neck. And that way. And I kind of go back into the same space. And I do this a couple of times just to make sure it's secure. But since the yarn blends in so well with this plush yarn, okay, let's go. My tail could have been a little bit longer, but we're going to make it work. All right. So he's in there pretty good. See, and his head's sticking up now. And just push that in. He's done. He's a done little guy. It didn't take that long. Super easy. Like I said, about 20, 21 minutes. This tail does not want to go in. He's taking his time going. Renegade tail. Okay, there we go. So there we are. Now I've got, this is the second purple one of it. So I've got a purple, blue, a yellow, and I don't have that many yellow left. I only have enough yarn, yellow yarn left to maybe make 1 to 2 more baby turtles. But yellow is kind of a weird color. Like either people really love it or they just don't. I personally love yellow. I think yellow is a beautiful color. But surprisingly, you would assume that blue would be a really popular color. It's not. It's not as popular of a color as I would assume. So I've made things with blue yarn and it just doesn't sell as well. And I don't know why. And maybe it's the shade of blue that I pick. But I find, okay, so teal sells okay. But like blue, like, oops, sorry. Let me show you an example. Like this color blue, it doesn't sell as well. I don't know why. Or darker blue, they just don't sell as well. It boggles my mind because I figure blue is like a real popular color among people. And people definitely love pink. A lot of people love purple. But I do find green, like a light green, is the color that most people love. And occasionally red, and occasionally every once in a while, and orange. But orange is probably the least popular color ever. A lot of people just don't like orange. I love orange. I think it's a beautiful color. Personally speaking, I think it's a natural color. I love like a beautiful fiery red orange, and I just love that. I can't wear it, but I sure like looking at it. So I've got me some tweedles. They're so cute. We have a green. I sell a ton of green. Anything green basically just kind of goes. Not a problem. So, and it's interesting, like with people, I know some people are like, well, make the colors that people will buy, but sometimes, you just, I don't know. I think if you have a variety of colors, I think it just helps the colors pop out instead of being all monochromatic. I like having a variety of colors. But it's really interesting though. But eventually I do sell all those baby turtles regardless of the color. And then you got some people who are just absolutely just love their orange, I think the color that I actually like the least, and not necessarily that I like the least as it just, and how the application of the color or where it's presented. Like I am not a fan of brown. Like say for brown, for like I would not paint my walls brown. I do not really care for, brown clothing. I just don't think it just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem appealing to now. If it's like a brown cow, a brown cat, or if it's like wood furniture, that I love. But if it's, I don't know how to explain, I guess it just depends. It just depends on what kind of brown it is and how it's applied. But like, if I had a choice between a brown car and a white car, I'm definitely going for white. And I absolutely love white. White is probably one of the colors that I'm attracted to the most. And I know my walls look brown, but actually they're like this paint color. And I have not painted my walls since I moved in at all whatsoever. And I need to, and I want to. But it's this mauve, kind of dusty mauve color, like, the 90s called, they want their mauve back. It was like the early 2000s, that kind of look. Everybody was kind of going with that muted mauve beige kind of color, and it's like I'm over it. I'd rather just have white walls, to be honest. Gray's not bad. I actually kind of like gray a little bit, but this wall color I'm not a fan of. I'm pretty sure that, who the owner of the house previous to myself, I mean, she liked the color. It's like everywhere except for like maybe the bedrooms, but the bedrooms definitely need to be painted so bad. Everything needs to be painted. This whole house needs to be redone. I need to gut this sucker out. But, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But that's just, it's the laundry list of things that need to be done. I've got a list. So I just hope I'm going to be able to get as much done as I am able to. Because, I'm just going to have to keep pumping it out. And it's just, crochet until my hand falls off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I only take breaks when I get up and, like, I've got to cook dinner or, or I got to go clean something. And I'm trying to be more proactive about getting up and cleaning and moving around. So what I'll do is I'll crochet for an hour and then I get up and I go do something. Crochet for an hour, get up and go do something, So it's kind of what I try to go do. It's somewhat productive. I don't feel like I get enough crochet in, but I get my house in order, my yard done, my yard work done, more in that way. And actually, I still need to go out and water my garden. So I planted a whole bunch of things the other day. And I have, under some grow lights, I got some not Boston. I think it's just called butter lettuce. It's butter lettuce. I got some butter lettuce sprouted. My cucumbers sprouted, so I've got some pickling cucumbers, and they sprouted like all 6 of them in the 6-pack. And I'm like, yeah. And I need to plant those bad boys. I had some okra sprout, and I was like, yes, because I love okra. Okra is extremely good for you. And I'm like the Bubba Gump of okra. I just love okra. I don't hardly eat it enough. I just love it. I like it dried, fried, boiled, stewed, you name it. I like it. If they probably made a candy out of okra, I probably would eat it. And there probably is an okra candy out there. I wouldn't be surprised, you know. But pickled okra, oh, I love that. So, have I told y'all the story about the pickled okra and my cousin? Okay, so I don't remember if I told y'all this story. I probably have, but I'll retell it because I just love this story. So I've got a cousin who's just a little bit older than myself. Um, Unfortunately, he's in poor health, and um, he might be passing away soon. He's got cancer. Um, but for a long time, we didn't know where he was at. Like, we didn't have a good relationship with his mom, and so we didn't know where he was at and everything like that. I know it's unfortunate. Um, but when we finally get to meet up with him again, we were teenagers. And so I had to have been about 15 or 16 or something like that. And he had to have been about 14. I really want to say he was about 14. And so we went to this restaurant and I got the salad bar. And on that salad bar, there was pickled okra. And that's like the first thing I pick up and I'm starting to eat off of my salad. He takes a look at that and he goes, "What is that?" I was like, "It's okra." "You don't know what okra is?" He's like, "No." And because he was from Buffalo, New York. He had never seen or heard of okra before. And I was like, how can you not know what okra is? I thought everybody knew what okra was. And so I'm like, crazy, right? And you would assume everybody knows things, but not everybody does. Hey, Jeanette, thanks for coming in. So that was kind of a funny thing. And let's see here. Yeah, unfortunately, he's not going to be with us for much longer. Excuse me. I'm talking too much. But let's see, what else do I have planted? I had some. Oh yeah, I had some cherry tomatoes planted. Those sprouted. Well, a few of them sprouted, not all of them. That's my alarm. Anyway, it's 2:00. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I got tomatoes planted. I did plant some sweet peppers, some bell peppers, but I don't think they're gonna sprout. If they haven't sprouted in next couple of days, they're probably not gonna sprout. And I haven't had good success with some of these seeds. Some of these seeds seems to be, they seem to be kind of old. Like, I really want my mint, like my peppermint and my Korean mint, to bloom because I love mint and I want the dill to sprout. It still hasn't sprouted. Not that I haven't looked at it today, but yeah, I really want those to sprout. Did I secure that already? I don't even remember if I secured that. But yeah, but in the backyard, I have already. I already have a strawberry patch that we've been trying to keep alive and keep going for about 2 years. And it takes about 2 years for strawberries to start really producing. And they have blossoms on them. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm going to have a strawberry yield. And we should, and I saw tiny little strawberries starting to develop. They're like tiny, tiny, tiny. It's where the blossoms fall off and everything. And so I covered them up in tulle. So I've got some tulle that I got from Hobby Lobby. And it's enough light for enough airflow for everything to get in, and this will keep the birds and the squirrels off my strawberries. And like we planted like, I don't know, about 8 strawberry plants, and they just spread. So that entire flower bed is just filled to the max. It's like a raised bed. It's like filled to the max with strawberry plants. And so if I spread strawberry plants aside, and I put, and once they started, showing blooms, I was putting on some blooming fertilizer. So, I have, and then I'll go out and I'll weed it, because I've got a real problem with this type of grass that's called stilt grass, like Japanese stilt grass. And I have a real problem with that stuff. And it's like popping up, and I've got a little problem with elm trees too. Like little elms are planted everywhere all over my property. So I've got to go out and I've got to yank them up. And so yeah, that's a thing. Because I thought it was like a really cool plant, and then I Googled it with the Google lens, and it was like, oh, it's an elm tree. And I'm like, crap, I don't need another elm tree. I've got like other volunteer elm trees all over the place. Hi, Zach. What's going on? So, yeah, things that I thought I was hoping that was going to be, I had like citronella plants, and those are great to plant around your house to keep mosquitoes away, And when we had a freeze, they were really big, bushy plants, and they were in pots. And I had like this plastic on them, and the wind, and then we had the front that came in that was bringing the freeze. The wind was really, really, really strong, and I didn't secure it enough around those citronella plants, and the freeze got them. And like the wind just totally whipped off that plastic, and the freeze got all my citronella plants. And so I was hoping that maybe they would come back from the root, because they will do that because they're perennials. And it got all of it. It got every single one of those plants. And we've had those plants for a really long time. We've had them for years. And a lot of them were like cuttings and starts, we had done ourselves. Well, say we, roommate did it. But, we're trying to keep them alive and everything. And the freeze got every single one of them. But my rosemary lived, and rosemary's surprisingly hardy. And my lemon verbena lived, and it's coming back with a vengeance. And a lot of people don't know that lemon verbena is also known as bee balm, and it kind of has a lemony smell, but it's a member of the mint family, so it can grow really, really prolifically. And it makes great honey. Like bees love it. It's also known as bee balm. So lemon balm, lemon verbena, bee balm, they're all the same. And you can also make a tea with that. And tea is really good to help calm you down. It's a good calming tea. So if you did that with chamomile, it would probably make a really delicious tea, just to help you calm down for the night. And it's supposed to help elevate your mood as well. And that's another thing that I also planted. I also planted some German chamomile. So fingers crossed, these things are going to sprout. Like I've got a whole bunch of things that I planted before the full moon, So between the first quarter and the full moon is like really good time to plant. And the good time to do weeding is from the last quarter, which actually should be Saturday, and until the new moon. That's a great time to kill things. Like if you're going to do some weeding, you want to kill back something, like you want to kill back a tree or something like that that's invasive on your property. That's a good time to kill things. To make sure that, so like, yeah, I need to, I got so many weeds and so many volunteer trees on my property that I need to just go in there and just yank those suckers up. It's work. I need a goat. I need a pet goat. Getting ready for work? All right, cool beans. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, I need a goat. I would like to get some pygmy goats. Those are so cute. They're so little. And you don't, yeah, and you can raise a pygmy goat just as much as you can just a regular goat to get milk from. So like if I had like a little pygmy nanny goat, that would be really great. I could milk my own goat. You think I'm really going to do that? No, really. I would probably have like a coyote come and kill it, probably. And so I had a close friend of mine whose mother, who lives like not too far from where I live. She probably lives like 2 or 3 miles away. Anyway, she had a bunch of chickens. Like she had a good sized flock, and she's like right here in the city with me. And like the other day, something got into her coop and it killed every single chicken. Didn't eat it, but it killed it. So she lost all her chickens, every single one. And she's like, either some kind of wild dog or a coyote. And I was like, oh, that's a coyote right there. Because we have coyotes right here, in our city. And yeah, coyotes are always spotted here and there. Yep. Those coyotes will come in and they will eat your chickens. They will kill your chickens. And I'm kind of wondering, like, because they will get your cats, they will get your dogs. And I'm really kind of worried that is the issue. Hi, Izzy. Oh, you're new here? Oh, cool. Nice meeting you. Can you make it brighter? I'm in the bushes. What do you mean by I'm in the bushes? The brighter? I don't know how to make it brighter. Hold on, let me move my camera just a little bit. I just angled it, so you're in the bushes. I don't know how to make it brighter. Hold on. Anyway, I don't know if that helps. But anyway. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why do I have 7 stitches? Why? Why? That's not right. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so is this 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay. Hold on, guys. Sometimes I can't crochet and talk at the same time. Sometimes I can. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. The head stuffing fell out and it fell down. Where did it go? I swear I thought it saw it fall down in my bag down here. Hi, Jackie. Thanks for coming in. So at the top of the chat, I included the pattern that I'm working on. So I am doing market prep for this Saturday. So I'm doing a new market for me. And it's actually a farmer's market. And so I'm running from like 9 to 1, which is like really ideal because it's stinking hot. And if this is a good market to be at, then this is a great market to be established at. And so kind of hoping that this is going to work out really good. And I need some more stuff. I need to make some more Easter rabbits. And I've got one, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had 2 made from the Crochet Grove Easter rabbits with the hat and overalls, and they had like a little carrot purse and everything. They were super cute, super cute. I sold both of those. I have one Crochet Grove rabbit, but it's naked, and it doesn't have a hat or overalls for it. But maybe I think I'm going to. I think I have enough yarn a white yarn to make another rabbit. So I'm hoping that I do. I need to look at the pattern and weigh out that yarn to see if I have enough grams for it. I want to say that I do, but I'm not sure. So we'll see. In it, I would like to have at least two rabbits instead of just one. And I don't have any brown yarn. I really don't have any gray yarn. I mean, you don't have to have a rabbit to be those specific colors. Like, I don't think anyone's going to buy a green rabbit, and I don't think anybody's going to buy an orange rabbit. Like, they might buy a yellow one, or I don't think I've got any pink. Maybe a baby blue one or a pink one. Those are kind of Eastery kind of colors. But I don't have that color yarn. I don't think I do. And I'd have to look, But that would be kind of cute, Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So I used to go live like all the time. And I really backed off for a while there. And I was really getting overwhelmed because I had started doing markets on the regular, especially in the fall. Like I was doing like a lot of markets, and I was just really getting very overwhelmed. Life was kind of getting at me, and so I was, like I was going live practically every day. Now I don't go live as much. I'm trying to get back into the saddle. I really got out of the habit of being on YouTube going live. And now I'm trying to get that reestablished. So I'm going live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And the reason being, I don't know if you heard him, hacking in the background. That's my roommate. He's got a lung condition. Usually at this time of day, he's taking a nap, but his sleep schedule's been off a little bit. So I try not to go live when he's awake. So bless his heart. That's just the way that's life, sometimes, especially when you're living with somebody with a chronic condition. He has a chronic condition. It's just all the time. And I'm so sorry that that you're having to hear this. It's unsettling. It's unsettling for me, and I live with it. So I do apologize for that. Just please be patient and bear with me on this. This is not something that's a regular feature on my channel. But trying to get ready for these types of things, trying to get back in the habit of doing things. Okay, so I need to do blue. Okay. Hopefully you'll have enough yarn to make the rabbits. You can make rabbit wherever color you want. Yeah, that's true. Some people may buy them because it's their favorite color. That's very true. Yeah, I understand. Well, thank you so much. I go live Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Um, I used to be all over YouTube. Like I used to go to people's lives all the time, and I did that for a while. And then, like I said, it just got to be a bit much for me, and so I was getting to the be where it was like, it was starting to become more of a chore than something that I actually enjoyed doing, and so I kind of in that, I'm kind of in that mindset now. It's like, if it doesn't bring you joy, then you're not going to put your passion into it. And, being now that I'm constantly making like, this is my job. This is what I do. Um, and it was really getting overwhelming for me because I felt like I needed to figure out like, hey, what are my subscribers going to like? What um trying to figure out the next big deal, or what kind of gimmick am I going to use to attract people. And sometimes it's like, you just need to be yourself, and that's important. And also though, I did a shift where I started doing markets, and so I'm kind of doing a little bit more markets based content. I guess that's the right word. Market based content, and because it's really what I really was starting to be more interested in, and but I was really into the social aspect of the YouTube, and I really do love YouTube. It's I've made so many really great relationships with it, and I've met some really wonderful people. I've had so many different ideas introduced to me. I've learned so much. It's a good thing to have. But on the other side of it, I was really kind of I was getting a little overwhelmed. It was like I felt like I was trying to keep up with the Joneses in a way, in a weird way. If you understand what I mean by that. I was like, okay, I was getting caught up in so many different aspects of trying to make YouTube work for me. And, it was, like I said, it was just getting a bit much. And like I said, I'm trying to get back in the saddle of it, trying to figure out what the secret sauce for myself. And when I stopped looking at the numbers and all the analytics, that is what helped me out a lot. So just be me, don't worry about what others think or say. It's like my people are my people. They're going to be here, wherever. If they come, they come. They don't, they don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But there's so many cool things that I have come across, things that have inspired me. Like I said, give me so many ideas. Okay. Let's see. I think I can do one more increase here. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Chua. Okay. It can be very overwhelming at times. Yes, I understand. or it can feel like a chore at times. Yeah, it can be. So, and I really wanted to like really say thank you to my subscribers and all that, but it just got to the point where um, like the whole and everyone, and this is everybody's choice, every once in a while I will participate in a giveaway, but I don't like doing giveaways, and I don't participate in giveaways that much. Like every once in a while I do, but I just don't really, I'm just not into it. I don't do the giveaways anymore. I just don't want to do them. And because I feel like it's like I'm buying your affections, and that's just my opinion. That's kind of how I feel. And everyone's got a different idea of what, and I really want to give, I love to give, but then on the inside, it's like, um, I don't want to have a whole bunch of subscribers that, are not vested, empty subscribers. I want my subscribers to be vested. I want to be vested in, in the channels that I subscribe to. I want to, follow them. I want to see what they're doing. I want to be excited to see their channel, and that's what I want people to be with my channel. Like I want people to be excited to see my channel. It's like, oh, what's Jamie doing? What's she up to? And I think that makes it fun, like, now whether I have time to watch somebody, I don't always have time to watch somebody, because sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to look at YouTube. But there are times I'm like, ooh, what's on YouTube? Ooh, what's being introduced to me? I love looking at what the algorithm introduces to me. And so that's how I find new channels. And I'll watch a few of their videos and determine like, ooh, I really like this person. I like their personality. I like what they're showing me. Okay, I'm almost done with this turtle. And this little guy, okay, so this particular blue for this posh that I have, it's not dyed well. It's got like light spots. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You see it right there? It's got some light spots on it. So I'm not going to cut it out. I'm still going to use it. I'm going to say it's heathered. I know. I'm just like, I don't care at this point. I'm just like, I'm going to use it. I don't know. Does that make me terrible for not providing a solid piece of color for my turtle shell? I mean, no one's really said anything, but okay, so yeah, it's got some light. I'm just gonna say it's mottled, it's heathered. Okay. All right. Oh, I need to do. I'm gonna join yarn. They get used to it before they buy it. They get to see it before they buy it. If they don't, they won't buy it. Right? Exactly. Yeah. They aren't perfect. And that's the thing with handmade. Anything handmade, it's not perfect. It's not, because we're not machines, So, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Um, so it's up to them. And that's also, I think with these types of things, it's like, I think it's better to see it in person and then touch it and feel it, as opposed to, oh, darn it. Sorry. I'm talking and crocheting at the same time. I missed a step. Um, yeah, to see and feel it firsthand. It's always I always tell, it's always better. Now I've had a couple of online sales, but I haven't had many. Um, so have y'all any of y'all heard of Days Crochet? Days Crochet is pretty cool. She's got a blog, but I really like her patterns. But she has something called a wrist wallet, and I did a posting on TikTok of my wrist wallet, and I sold one, and I actually made one for somebody, and like they loved it and everything. And I thought, oh, great, I love using mine, and I sold one or two at Christmas. Um, but you need to check out that Days Crochet, and I love doing that because it looks like stacked bracelets on one side, but on the other side it's like this little pocket, and it's big enough to where you can put like a couple dollar bills into, or you can put your bank card into. Um, it's pretty cool. But she has other patterns that I've done. Like she does something called macrame. So it looks like macrame, but it's more like but it's actually crochet. And she's got she had like this miniature plant hanger that I put like air plants into, and it looks really super cute. And I absolutely love it. I need to take that with me to market as well. Now I was selling some of the air plants in it, but a batch of air plants on Amazon is about like $20, and you get about like 8 of them. You know, um, so I thought about doing it again. I did that last year for Mother's Day. I only sold one, and all my air plants died except for one. I kept one alive, and honestly, he's hanging out on my kitchen windowsill, and I talk to him when I'm doing dishes. If you talk to your plants, you talk to your animals. I do. I talk to my plants and animals, but they respond to you. They pick up on your vibes, your energy. And plants respond to these things. I don't know why, but they do. And I'll talk to my plant. I'm like, oh, you need some water. Let me give you some water, buddy. Okay, keep growing. So I talk to my plants. I know I'm a little corny for it, but I do. I talk to my plants. And like with my little seedlings and stuff that I have growing in my grow room, and I'll talk to them like, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. Keep growing. I know. I'm a little nerdy. So it's fun. But this is actually my first year of actually trying to grow by myself food to eat. Okay, so I've never really done any of that by myself. We've had grown food to eat. We've mostly it's been like greens, microgreens, tomatoes, uh, snow peas. Snow peas grew great that a couple years ago. Peppers, things like that. But I didn't really grow it. Like it was roommate. But this year is my first year to actually grow stuff myself, and so It's a lot of it's learning. A lot of it is direction from the roommate about what to do. But some of it's like I'm really kind of taking it on. I'm taking on that mantle of doing my own garden and things like that. Unfortunately, I've even killed a few things already, so it's been a little tough. It's been learning. I've been learning so much lately on how to do so many different things. Um, you know, more than just um, just crocheting and then the crochet business side of things. That's learning too. Um, like I just did taxes the other day, and I was just like, okay, I need to be better organized for that. And learning how to be learning those types of things. And I just feel like I'm a better person for it. I feel like I have, a sense of, just normalcy. It just feels normal to keep learning like that, to keep growing, um, and not being caught up on, you know, what's going on in the world, because if you pay attention to what's going on in the world, it's gonna like eat at you. It's like nobody is satisfied with anything anymore. And when I turn off all of the negative things that are spinning around in this world and I focus on the crochet, or I focus on my cooking, or I focus on the gardening, I just feel I get a calmer sense, and it I feel like I'm almost like a normal person. It's like a sense of normalcy. Like, I'm probably in a bubble that I've created for myself, you know. But sometimes you got to, just to keep your sanity. Sometimes it feels that way. But I mean, part of the reason why I crochet now is just so I can pay some of the bills. Everything's gotten so expensive. But I've got a laundry list of things that I want to do. I mean, I really want to get that goat one day. I really want to get some chickens one day. Like, I really want these things, and I've got to work at it to make these things happen. Okay. Hmm. I just came in from working in the garden. 3 hours in the hot sun. Hard work, yeah? It's always learning. It is. It is always learning. It really is. It's definitely a thing. So I had um, some raised beds that were made from old pallets and everything. And I had only 2 green bean plants sprout, and a cat came in and decided to use my raised bed as a litter box. And she tore up one of my green bean plants. And it was the impressive one. It was the one that was getting all nice and curly and had a nice big leaf on it and everything. And she came out and she boogered it up. And then the other day I was out watering and I noticed that something had been eating on its leaves too. And I was like, crap, I'm going to have to make some bug spray, some bug repellent for it. So, yep. That's all fun and games, right? We planted cabbage a few years ago, and something ate up all our cabbage. Like, it didn't have a chance. It's like, it ate all the cabbage up. I don't know what it was. I'm going to assume it was slugs, but there are also some cabbage worms, I think, or the cabbage flies or something like that. I don't know. I've heard that there's something like that. But yeah, it totally ate up all our cabbage. Like, there was no chance that we were going to get anything out of that. Okay. So after this turtle, I'm going to go, and this turtle's not working out because my stitch count is off. Hold on. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, it's supposed to be 18 stitches. Okay, so yeah, almost done with this turtle. Probably another 10 more minutes on this bad boy. Then I'm gonna get off and be on my merry way because I got stuff to do and I'm getting hungry. And then I gotta figure out what I'm gonna make for dinner. And get maybe some stuff thawed out for that. Okay, and then so we're gonna decrease. So what do you have growing in your garden this year? Inquiring minds want to know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then, and I think that's going to be a very common thing nowadays, I think more people, I don't know, I'm assuming, maybe because I look at gardening videos nowadays, that more people are gardening. And maybe it's just me, my age group or something. I don't know. I'm assuming a lot of people garden, but maybe because that's just what I'm seeing, and that's what I'm into, and that's what the algorithm shows me. The algorithm. Yeah. Fruits, vegetables, herbs, spices, edible flowers, berries, and more. Man, you got a whole shebang. Spices, huh? What kind of spices are you growing? That's interesting. Because usually spices are like, like seeds. Generally speaking, Um, I'm always kind of curious about that because sometimes I ask myself questions like, okay, could I actually grow these things myself? Like, would that be a feasible thing? Um, and I, can now, granted, now I live in Texas, and in my growing zone, you can only grow certain things. We have a really good winter if it's not too cold, and it's a good growing winter. Like, if you're growing some cold crops, it'd be really good for that, like broccoli or the brassicas, things like that. It would be fine. But sometimes, I wonder, it's like, what can I actually grow here? And sometimes I'm wondering, like, is it too cool here to grow some of the hotter items? And sometimes I associate spices being something that grows in a really, really warm climate. Not always, but if you think about like peppercorns, the original, a lot of spices like cumin. Think about all the countries that use a lot of these spices, and usually these are equatorial countries. A lot of countries that use like cumin and chili and black pepper and white pepper. A large majority of them are grown. A lot of these are just right there on the Sun Belt, and you're just kind of like, is it too cool where I'm living now to grow these types of spices? Um, I think I'm in zone 7. I want to say 7. It could be 8. It could be 8. I don't know. Maybe it's 7. I don't know what zone I'm in. Well, hold on. Let me Google it real quick. But but some spices, like you can grow, like you can grow celery seed. I love celery seed. You can grow garlic. Garlic technically is a spice. It can be an herb, but it can be a spice. You can grow onions and make onion powder. That's kind of considered a spice. So you can grow those types of things. That makes sense, right? Like you can grow coriander, which is cilantro. So you can grow cilantro seed. You can grow that. That's really easy to grow. It takes a while to sprout, but it's actually once you get it started, you know. I'm not sure, but can you eat parsley seed? It's a great question. But cumin, I don't know if you can grow cumin. I imagine you could sprout cumin. Mustard, okay, you can definitely grow mustard seed. Okay, if you can grow the mustard plant, you can grow mustard seed, and grind that up and harvest it. So yeah, I guess you could grow spices here. It just depends on what kind of spices that you want to grow or what you're capable of growing. Okay. What is the grow zone for Dallas, Texas? Okay, we're in zone 8. Yeah. Hardiness zone 8. Yeah. All right. I'm almost done. Almost done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Yeah, buddy. Okay. It's time for some polyfill. Okay. But yeah, these are really kind of fun questions to ask. It's like, oh, what can I grow? What's possible? And so I saw this thing where some really good crops that are easy to grow that kind of grow here in this area. And it's also a grain that you can actually grow this grain, and it's amaranth. And so it grows in a spray, much like millet or quinoa, and you can grow that in your garden too, and use that as a grain, and you can mill it and everything like that. You can dry it out, you can mill it and everything. It's really quite interesting what you can grow and everything like that. I've had amaranth before. You can probably just boil it up and make a gruel with it, or a cereal or something like that. I don't really remember what it tastes like, to be honest. I imagine it just has a grainy flavor. I would just assume. But like if times get tough and you are not able to buy wheat or wheat is not available, you can grow amaranth. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. You can grow chia. Chia seed's so good. You can grow chia. Like chia pet. Chia seeds, same thing. I didn't put that association together until about like 15 years ago. And I was like, oh, wait, a chia pet is the same thing as chia seeds. Oh. You know, so every time I get my chia seeds, I go chia. I've had any luck growing amaranth. I've tried 2 years. I will continue to try, but the amaranth leaves are edible. Yeah, I know they are edible. Yeah, you grow chia and sesame seeds. That is cool. Oh, I think that's cool. I know you grow sesame seeds. I never thought about sesame. That's cool. I love me some sesame. Ooh, I do love some sesame. That is one of my favorite flavors. I love me some sesame. I love I love tahini. It is like one of my favorite things in the world to eat right now. I make this tahini sauce, and I look for reasons to eat it. It's so good. I love this sauce. God, now I want to eat shawarma and make some tahini sauce to go with it. It's so good. Okay. Um, no, but another thing I kind of want to try. I've never eaten it before, but I'm really curious about it, and I think I bet I can go to Whole Foods and get one. But I want to try a Jerusalem artichoke. I've never tried it. I've never, I can't say what it tastes like, but I hear that they're really good to grow. Good to grow emergency food crop. You know, and so kind of want to try that out. Um, but I think you can also actually grow artichokes here too. Just actual artichoke tree. I think you can grow those here as well. And I actually do like artichokes fairly well. Okay. My turtle's done. Okay. All right, kids. I am done with this little guy. And I messed up his tail a little bit, but his little tail is going to the side. Anyway. All right, guys. Blue shell turtle number 2. So there we go. He's a done. And I don't know if I should put little smiles on them or not. I'm thinking about it. And I'll just use some DK weight black yarn and I'll just embroider little smiles on them. But cute. I love these little guys. And I'm probably going to have a basket full of them. So I'll sell them for like $7, and then I'll put, I'm going to put a sign up and, let people know that for $1 more, you can make them into a keychain. So I think it's going to work out. Anyways, all right, guys, I'm going to head on out. My tummy's rumbling and my bladder's twitching. So I've been on here for, almost 2 hours. But I'm going to head on out. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate y'all being here. This is the most I've had people talk to me in quite a while. So I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. So I'm going to try to be on here next Tuesday at 1 o'clock CST. And I will do a market recap. And I'll probably still be making stuff for my next market. I don't know if I'm going to do the next weekend We'll see. It depends on how much I sell this Saturday. But I'm definitely going to do a market, the one that I usually attend. Um, it's usually on the second Saturday, but for some reason they're doing the first Saturday of the month at my usual market. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I think Saturday is really going to just tell me a lot about what my schedule is going to be like. But for sure, Tuesday I will be here. Do a market recap unless I am sick or something happens, and you know how life is. So, but just keep your peepers open on the community tab, and I'll let you know if something happens. Anyways, I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good day, and bye. Ta ta for now. Okay, where's the end button? There it is.